Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith in the Black Quantity VTF here, T3 Live with this week's market wrap-up. And so far, what do we got here? We got the best trading, just 4 days into December, we got the best trading of the year ever since October, and the best trading month since October, and the best month October since February. So this is really what you want, volatility, move them around, and know what's going on. So a lot of this stuff, you go, what happened? And let me show you. So I point a lot of this stuff out, and you can join me on Tuesday nights for the Wheels in Motion show where we talk about exactly what we're looking for and why. So if you take a look at this, here's SPY. So here was the opening of the month. We gapped up. All right, is that good? Maybe. It depends on what's the next two. Which side of this do you take out, especially when you gap up into here? Because there's only three things that can happen from one bar to the next if you haven't heard me speak before. Right? You either take out one side of the range, right? Or you take out, or you stay inside the previous range here, or you take out both sides, right? This is called a 1 inside, 2 is take out the other side, 3 takes out both sides. Is that important to know? You bet it is, because you can't go 3 without going 2 first, all right? So let's take a look here. We got, this goes 2 to the day upside, all right? But what does that set up? That sets up, if we go 2 back down, the outside bar on the week, which we were looking for once we got that, because on Monday, everything, on Tuesday, everything did this, right? QQQ. Boom, you see that? So we knew that. So then, once we come down into here, right, and SPY does this, all right, SPY comes down and takes it out. That goes outside week, right, here. So once we took that out, then we have some exhaustion risk, because anybody long from all this stuff is blown out. They're gone, right? So if the sellers don't step down, then you get that reflex rally back up, which we got. If you go to the 30-minute here, you're going to see this. We go down, we go inside on the 30, sink them, and then the 2-2 reversal. 2 in one direction, 2 in the other reversal. For the let's go back up the other way, then a 2-2 reversal back down on the 30. Once you know how to do this stuff, it's beautiful. And so you really like to get all that kind of stuff going. We also, if we go to the monthlies, here, inside month to the downside, you got small cappers doing that the same thing. So still looking to the downside. Last week I talked about Apple. Right? I said, how are you going to turn this thing around? Right? How are you going to turn this thing around? Well, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go 2 up on the week, but you did it on a Monday and then got slammed for another outside bar to the downside. Boom. 2 up, 2-2 back, reversal back down. And when you know this stuff, it's all clear as day. It's not like, what's going on? I need to find a level to buy. It's like, no, what's happening, and using time from continuity. And if you look at some of these sectors, like OIH is just getting demolished, and you can see how long this has been going on. Here's that 3-2 down, and you had the Halliburton do that with the slob last month and still going. Right? So this stuff, just a debacle. So one of the things I talked about was, are we going to be able to, first of all, look at the defensive sectors? Are they coming in? Right? Now you got XLP coming in. The reason that's a problem is what we've seen in this entire bull market, and I've said this over and over again, they go running to the Utes, go running to the XLP, and go running to the REITs. So now they're starting to hit XLP. Now if we go to VNQ, jury's still out, and VNQ today is going inside day after an outside day. That's 3-1. So we want to see what they do with that. If you go to the utilities still hanging around. Green on the day and still green on the week. All right, still a 2 to the upside. So if you want to be long, do that. So you got AEP, right? So people trying to bottom pick stuff, you just buy stuff that's going up. AP, NE, I believe, So anything like that, and they're not really screaming, but we want to see if that starts to give up the goose, right? So the other thing we want to look at was, I talked about the trannies as far as Dow theory. When you're looking at the utilities and the Dow Jones and the transports all trending in the same direction. You got the Utes trying to go up. Trannies got destroyed on this 2-2. And this is why you want to know about this. Everything trades in a series of broadening formations. All right? Like so. Go up here, 2-2 reversal, you're ripping right back through all this stuff. All right? And so because we know outside bars exist, I don't need to even look at the weekly chart, but I will, or the monthly, to know that these 4 bars are outside of all of this, right? That's when you go to a longer term chart. You're going to see this. Bam! Then you're going to go to the monthly. bam. Remember, you can't take out both sides without taking out one side. So once you take out one side and come back through the range, it's on, like the Donkey Kongs, right? We know that, right? So that's good stuff to know when you get something like a FedEx, right? Pops its head up. Oh, I think it's going up, do you? 2-2, reversal back down. Pivot machine gun is what we like to call that. I think it's going up again. Do you? Boom, right here, potential 3, demolished. And then you get your bigger running formation like so. All this, lower lows, higher high, lower low, bam. Which gives you this weekly of death to come through all that stuff, which set up the monthly to go outside, which it indeed did. And then if you look at something like United Airlines was the pride of the trannies. But, new month. I think it's going up, do you? Back through all that stuff. So, another thing they're finally starting to do is buy also coming into some gold. So you've got gold inside month and up, and you have the TLT do this. This is called a compound 3, and this outside bar is a 3, but sometimes you run out of time, right? And so if this was a 2-month bar, these two would be completely outside of that. We just ran out of time. So the TLT starts to come up, so that gets a little interesting. And then stuff today, like Lulu, there you go. Lulu getting rocked. And the good thing about Lulu is it started by going up and then got the business here. It started on the 5-minute. And there you go, the 2-2 reversal off the 5-minute right there. If you go to a 15, you're going to see this. The 15-3-2. And so another thing you want to do is when you have something grinding like this, you want to come off the high part of the grind. Because if you keep shorting it into the lows, you're going to get stopped out, depending on how you do that. So you can look for something like this. Hammer, shooter, boom, puke. Here's your inside 15er, that's down. And you go down to a lot of shorter term time frames too. Let them come up on the 5, even 3. So here, ready? Let it come up. And then 2-2 reversal on the 5. And just let it repuke. Ulta, another one here. And Ulta, looking at all the time frames, once we knew the gap was coming in, we knew about this broadening formation. And once you get back in one, we're looking for you to take all that stuff out, which you did. And Ulta, weekly outside, and the monthly, you're going to see this. It was inside month and up last month. Here. And so a rev strat is usually a shooter or counters, a shooter or hammer counters the inside bar. But with the scenarios, this is 1, 2, 2. And what that means is this is a equilibrium. Couldn't make higher highs, lower lows. And it's getting reversed. So when we take that out, we're looking to take that and that out, which we did. All right. So a lot of this stuff has indeed played out, but it is still on this monthly basis or still outside, right? And so a lot of outside weeks that we could go continuation on. So anytime the market goes out on the lows or near the lows, the whole weekend is going to be like, oh, the market looks like crap. Let them open. Are they certainly having some issues here? Without question. We're just going to keep watching all these in sequence. And then once again, if you go to the Ulta 60, everybody's like, how do I get in on this? Here you go. 2 down, right? Inside. Boom, re-break right there, and that's nice. And then Tesla, which was holding up most of the day, and was talking about this morning is if you have the options when it starts gapping here, 370s or anything up here, wherein if you're long the calls, and we're talking about this in the chat room, if you're long the calls, instead of selling that out, when Tesla blasts up into here. If those go into parity or anywhere near parity, you sell the stock against the calls, right, to lock it in. It's called a synthetic put. So should it fall apart later, you're short below the strike. So it's even if you did, if the 370, right, even if you had 370s and it goes blasting up into here and you lock that in, boom, it comes back through here. You're protected to the upside, and then you're short the stock and watch it get destroyed. Stuff you want to watch on a Friday, right? And then right at the end of the day, here, we'll always watch stuff in the last 15 minutes because the options are ridiculously cheap. And here's the 2 down, 2 up, shooter counters, hammer reversal. And this thing went from 361.23 down to 357.96 in 15 minutes. And that's how you take advantage of a Friday. So everything's very well telegraphed, and the things are moving, which is beautiful. You just got to know what to do and trade in the right direction. Don't fade stuff. Wait for things to turn around. So the last thing I'll leave you with is the bottom of the hour we call the flip when we get a new 60-minute bar. Because what happens at that time is perception's going to change, and trading, a lot of trading is automated, right? And so what we want to know about is the machine back on. And so when we go exhaustion, by that I mean we took out last week's lows and came into here, were we very aware of this? We were. New 60-minute bar showing up, and that's where we look for that 32-2 reversal back up. So just knowing some of this stuff is going to help you a lot, especially in this environment when they're moving around so much, because you want to be able to take advantage of things when they're moving 600-700 points in the Dow, and instead of sitting there trying to bottom pick all the time. All right, hope everybody had a great week, has an even better weekend. I'm Rob Smith, the Black Quantitative ETF with this week's market wrap-up.